So the deepest teachings are in silence. That's what happens when you speak. The deepest teachings are in silence. So just to be, that's it. When in being, there's no meing. There's no me. In being, there's no me. Meing, the illusion of being a me, is when you're intertwined and enmeshed with egoic desire for sensual objects, security, emotional security, psychological security. When you're attached to these things. Otherwise, there's just being. The words of the teaching don't need to make any sense. They don't need to make any sense for the teaching to have an impact. Because the teaching's in the words, and somehow through the words, irrespective of what the words are actually saying. So everything is just this being. And this being has its own movement. It doesn't move at all, and it has its own movement. Everything is this spontaneous expression of being, and yet being never moves. It's the eternal stillness, irrespective of what appears to be happening. In a dream, the dreamer never really partakes of the dream. It's only the dream characters that have dream experiences within a dream. Dreamer is always untouched. And yet in a dream, everything is a spontaneous expression of the dreamer. Or we can take the analogy of the screen, the movie. It's the same thing. So everything is divine, and you are that. So just to be that which you are, and everything still just happens. What you do in your day-to-day life, what you think in your day-to-day life, what you feel in your day-to-day life, is not your doing. Your only doing is being, to be. And that is not a doing at all. That is just what you are, your nature. So this is called jnana, or knowledge. Jnana means knowledge. J-N-A-N-A. Jnana means knowledge. This is the knowledge. It's the being. It's the beingness. It's the knowing that you are being, and it's beyond knowing. has nothing to do with knowing. It's knowing that you're being, and it has nothing to do with knowing. It's just being. But it's knowing you are not body-mind. Knowing you are not that which appears, but you are beyond that which appears, and you are everything that appears, but no particular thing that appears, and beyond all of that. So let me share something with you about myself. When I was younger, when I was a younger boy, when I was a young boy, I was fairly clever at some things. At least I thought I was. My mind was quick. I knew things. I was eager to learn. And when I came across the idea of enlightenment or liberation, I seized it. I seized it, and I sought and I sought. I was seeking and seeking. And I was reading and practicing. And I was trying to figure it all out. And then grace came along and brushed all that aside. Now I'm far less clever than I used to be. I know much less now. And I'm full of joy and peace. Before I was far cleverer, I knew more, and I was suffering. That's where knowledge gets you. That's where understanding gets you. That's where seeking with the mind gets you. But then grace comes along and sweeps that all aside and fills you up with joy and love. So you know very little. You don't know where you are. The firm footing I thought I had, I lost. But I ended up dissolving into an ocean of love in which there's no firm footing. But because it's everything, there's no firm footing needed. In one way, it's total stability. But it doesn't care for total stability. This is the gift of my guru, Ramana. So I ask you to take Ramana as your guru. To look at his image, to chant his name, to allow his love, which is in the depths of stillness and silence in your heart. Allow that love within your soul to rise up, fill you up with joy. And then you too will become more stupid and happier. You'll know less, and you won't feel the need to know more. This is called wisdom, but it's not being clever, and it's not knowing much. It's being nothing and being overwhelmed with everything, it only makes sense if you have experienced this or a taste of it yourself. To the people who are attacking this only with the mind, it doesn't make sense. But I know you here. Yes, you're attacking it with the mind. Yes. But your heart's also here. Your heart knows this to be true. Not the words, but that which is beyond the words. That loving presence, that is all. That is everything. When I say it's all and everything, that's not knowledge I have, that's just a poetic expression. The reason I say that is sometimes people's minds say, well, how do I know it's all? How do I know it's everything? It's not about that. It's just a poetic expression. So just to be in Ramana's presence, just to be in Ramana's presence now, just to feel his presence in your heart. Ramana said the self, the true self, the absolute, the divine, that which in which there is no suffering. He said that self is like a magnet. When you're seeking, you think you're doing this and that, but actually the self is like a magnet. Its magnetic force is always drawing you towards it. And you think you're doing this and that, you're just being drawn by the self. You're just being moved by the self. So, how to become one with the self? Well, just let go. Allow yourself to fall towards the self. Eyes open, eyes closed, it doesn't matter. Eyes open, there's only the self. Eyes closed, there's only the self. What difference does it make? None. So just to abide in this loving stillness, Ramna's presence. To allow the joy and the love to fill your being. And to know that even that is just phenomenal arising. But still, to allow it to cleanse you. To know that cleansing is just ultimate illusion, but to allow it to still happen. Purify your vasanas. Knowing the vasanas are illusory. Body, mind, world, illusory. But we still worship him because, at least in the appearance, we love to.